Good morning, Dubai. It is Friday, finally. This is the Lovin Dubai show with me, Casey.
And me, Massa.
And we go through the big trending stories of the day. The top story, the UAE is launching a smart car that uses AI to catch visa overstayers.
And Dubai unveils an AI system that detects 5 traffic violations instantly.
Abu Dhabi has a new offer for newlyweds. It's going to be 75k annual rental aid for newlywed Emirati couples.
And this church in Dubai has no dispute board for job seekers.
And on that, we're going to talk about, have you ever lied on a CV? After that, we are so excited to share this interview. I got to sit down with David Gray. And if you're a fan of his work, you'll truly enjoy this interview. He went deep into some of his albums, the inspiration behind them. And that's ahead of his gig at the Coca-Cola Arena on October 31st.
And with today's Upper Weather Report, it's mostly sunny with temperatures ranging from 37 to 28 Celsius. It's dipping.
It's dipping.
It's dipping, finally.
Except in the studio where it's toasty because I'm wearing a winter coat. We have a birthday today.
A very special birthday for a very special person in the office.
Yes.
She's like the mama bear.
Yeah, and she's so...
And she's...
Happy birthday! Oh, wait. Ujjwal, timing. Millie, happy birthday. Come
Happy birthday, Millie.
Where did you get this one? Where did you get this?
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Millie. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
For sure, he's a jolly good fellow.
I start to go in here to scold Masa because he said he spilled the coffee into...
You wanted to come and yell at me?
Yes.
Why do you think I was the first person?
Yeah,
Why not
exactly.
Casey? Maybe
And also
Casey
coffee.
spilled.
It's coffee's my drink.
I said, why should bring coffee?
Why is Masa bringing coffee into the studio?
See, I told you, like Mama Bear, you know, like getting scolded at the office and everything.
And you know what happened yesterday, guys? We had a cake for Millie and it broke, and you left the office to take a half day on your birthday, which was the real day, and you got a half a cake. So we're excited to give you a full cake.
Oh, thank you very much.
Chocolate crunch. We hope you like it. You like chocolate.
I like all the cakes.
You should like all cakes.
What's your favorite birthday tradition?
Tradition, usually in Philippines, instead of celebrating at home, we go out, and instead, for me, I'm requesting my family just to give on the street kids,
Oh.
like something,
Oh.
not for me, for the kids.
Oh,
That's
it's
what
really cute.
I like to do.
But a celebration for you, what would you like to do to celebrate yourself?
Chilling.
Same.
Chilling.
No big
Same.
party.
Just do nothing.
Nothing.
And that's what you did yesterday, just
Yes.
sit and do nothing?
Yeah,
What
when
a
I reach the
perfect...
room, I just sit there in front of the computer and chill.
Yeah.
Video games.
The perfect retreat, you know? What a privilege on your birthday to sit and do nothing, honestly.
is-
Like, if anyone comes to you, it's my birthday. I'm not doing this. I'm not cleaning. I'm not getting up.
That's the privilege.
I'm not tidying up my room. No, it's my birthday.
Last year I didn't come to office.
Yeah.
It's entirely whole day.
I think that's a good idea. And every
Yeah.
year I always come, and every year I'm like, why did I come today? It's your birthday.
It's my birthday, exactly.
You usually take it off?
But I like being spoiled.
Yeah, last year. So today I'm planning, Wednesday I'm planning, I'm going to send a whole day off for tomorrow. Oh. That's why I'm telling you that yesterday about what happened in the car. So instead of whole day, okay, I will take half day only.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
But still, like at least you got some time for
Yes.
yourself, and you see your little niece, and
Yeah.
oh,
Well, this looks delightful. Can we share some with you later?
Yes,
Yeah.
of
Like right
course,
after the show.
definitely.
Delightful. Okay.
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday, Millie.
Happy birthday,
We love
Millie.
you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so
you.
much, Millie, for everything.
Thank you for everything that you do in the office.
Okay, thank you.
Love you.
Where did you get this one?
Secrets.
Sneaky. Massive sneaky. Happy birthday, Millie.
Happy birthday, Millie.
She's giving Ujjwal like the hardest stare I've ever seen her give because she came running into the studio with like 20 tissues.
I can't believe she was coming in to yell at me, you know? I'm a bit scared. Why'd she assume it was me?
Maybe he said Massa.
Maybe he said Massa, yeah.
Massa spilled the morning coffee she always drinks.
Oh no. On the show on live, you think I am that, you know, messy?
She came.
But she's Mama Bear. We love her. She's my favorite person at the office, and she always takes good care of us, honestly.
Yeah, she really does. We can't thank her enough for the work that she does.
Yeah.
It's very warm in the studio, I must say. I feel as cozy as Millie in the photos behind me. Let's jump into our top stories of the day on this Friday morning. A UAE car will use AI to catch visa overstayers. So brace yourselves, you're officially living in Futurama. If you grew up watching futuristic cartoons like I did, you'll get that reference. The UAE is launching a smart inspection car that uses AI to catch visa overstayers.
So here's how it works. The car developed by the Federal Authority for Identity, Citizenship, Customs and Port Security comes equipped with 6 cameras offering 360-degree coverage and facial recognition technology. While patrolling, the system scans faces in real time, and if someone is found to be in violation of their visa or residency status, the AI instantly flags it and alerts the officers inside.
It's a futuristic patrol car expected to hit the roads by early 2026. But this announcement came from Jitex. You can see one of the videos beside us was taken by Upton. But it wasn't the only announcement. We've got so many cool drops that always come at this time of year. It's been jam-packed, and it's so many amazing things. It's hard to give them all headlines, but we've got some of the other big announcements coming to you now.
So Dubai unveils AI system that detects 5 traffic violations instantly. Dubai police just took road safety to the next level, unveiling a new AI-powered traffic monitoring system at Jitex Global that can automatically detect 5 major violations without any human involvement.
Okay, so please take note because this will be rolled across Dubai very soon. And these smart cameras can spot you as a driver if you're not wearing your seatbelt, if you're using your mobile phone while driving, if you're blocking traffic flow, if you're stopping on the hard shoulder, and Massa will love this, if you're tailgating in real time. So tailgating no more. A display screen shows violations as they happen, giving a glimpse of how Dubai is integrating AI and smart surveillance to make roads safer and more efficient.
So with this upgrade, Dubai edges closer to its vision of becoming a fully smart city where technology keeps drivers alert. I love this news as soon as I read the tailgating part. Because I sit here and I complain about the tailgaters all the time, you know, and you know, Jitex came and made this happen, and finally AI will detect it, but it's scary.
It's amazing because it's like you've got speed limits on the road to regulate us, but obviously you've still got people who break the speed limit. And what can you do about that type of poor driving and erratic driving behaviour, such as tailgating or simply blocking the road? There are now AI cameras which can monitor it. And there's talk about the AI bubble bursting because there's been so much investment into it, and we only use AI for ChatGPT and for simple things at work. But in terms of these updates, that an AI camera can check if I'm wearing my seatbelt as I'm driving down a road, like that's phenomenal. And it, you know, it's so efficient, and it will save on manpower and ultimately save money.
I remember, I think it first rolled in Abu Dhabi. I remember when people were getting those, you know, the AI cameras were catching them not using the phones or not wearing the seatbelt. It was immediately catching them, like you can never get past it. Yani you think you get away with it? No, those cameras were so instant.
Wow.
They're so developed. You were catched left and right. And they send you a picture.
Yeah.
And it's you.
I got a picture of a fine recently and I thought it would be me driving, but it's actually just on my number plate. I was like, that could have been any time.
Oh, I always wonder, like, what am I doing at that situation? What did they see in front of them, you know? Like, what was I happy? Was I smiling? Was I depressed? Was I upset? Was I looking away?
Well, it's not they. It's just a camera.
It's just a camera now.
There's
you know,
no emotion or feeling about the person.
You know, I remember one time, like, where there was this our family car at our house had got so many fines because we all use it. Okay, so we're 5. We're a family of 7, and 5 people use the same car.
Oh my gosh.
So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't know what happened that year, but for some reason, we got a lot of fines on that car. So my dad was really pissed. So he decided to print everything, like the roads, the pictures and everything.
Yeah.
And to sit us all down and to ask us why explain yourself. Why did you get this fine?
Oh my God, I love it so much. And did you have to pay back the fines, whoever got them?
Yeah. Yeah, technically, yeah. We all had to pay our own
Technically?
fines. Technically, yeah. You know, I tried to get out of it, but I couldn't.
Did your brother pay yours?
No. I tried, you know, I tried to play that, you know, I'm the youngest at house, you know, I'm stupid, I'm reckless. But no, I didn't get out of it.
What a hilarious scene. Good on your dad. And since then, have there been less fines?
Yes, by the way, it actually worked. Oh my God, you're so right. That was 2 years ago, I think. Okay, it actually worked. We are not getting fines as much as we used to because that it traumatized us. We were so scared because he gave us a warning. You know, he sat us down. He's like, "I'm gonna sit you all down," and we were all scared. I was driving below the speed limit. You know, if the road was 100, I'm not even reaching 110. I was 100. If the road is 60, not 80. 60.
Okay. Well, if the AI cameras aren't working and you need someone to police the fast drivers on the road, Massa's dad, he can do it. He can instill fear in drivers. Apparently. Let's jump into our next story, talking about newlyweds.
So Abu Dhabi offers 75,000 annual rental aid for newlywed Emirati couples. So Abu Dhabi is helping newlywed Emirati couples settle into a new married life with rental aid of up to 75,000 dirhams per year, part of the Emirati Family Growth Initiative by the Department of Community Development.
And so, the support aims to strengthen family stability and ease financial pressures on young couples. It can be renewed annually for up to 4 years, which is amazing, depending, of course, on eligibility and household income. To apply, couples need to fill out the Medeem Women's Wedding Form for preliminary approval and submit the following forms.
A comprehensive salary certificate, a certificate confirming neither spouse receives a housing allowance, bank statement for the last 6 months, and proof of income from any business, real estate, or investment sources.
The initiative reflects Abu Dhabi's continued commitment to supporting Emirati families, promoting stability, and empowering the next generation to build strong, sustainable homes. I think it's amazing to give back to young families, or to give to them as they embark on such an important life journey. And of course, finances can come into play, do you think?
Yeah, it definitely comes into play, and the fact that they can help you up to 4 years, because I know the first few years of marriage can be so difficult. You can say it yourself.
Well, I can't agree.
You can't agree? Yeah.
Alive. No.
They can have it up to 4 years, and I think this is how I see it. It can be different. Some people might agree, might not agree. Some people have it differently. But, you know, the reason why so many people would want to postpone the idea of marriage or committing to married life and family and stuff is because of financial stability. Mm-hmm. So I think and this puts into question, like, if we had financial stability at an earlier age, would you get married earlier? Or would you not? Does it depend on something else? Like, do you want to achieve something in life?
So would finances stop you from getting married at a young age? What do you think?
I think yes, definitely. I think,
really?
Yeah. 100%. Yes, 100%. I think finances come into play. I know a lot of people that are in a relationship that they want to make this commitment, but they're pushing it a few years ahead because of financial stability. They're not financially stable. They can't take that commitment. They can't take into that responsibility. They still need to live in their parents' house. So they can't open a house, like they say, you know, in Arabic. So so they have to push it a few years, although they've been together for, I don't know, for the past 4 years. So I think financial stability is really important. And I think this is where this whole initiative comes from.
No, I agree. I think it is really important. And I got married, I guess, on the technically older side. So this is probably less relevant. However, I do think I don't think I was financially minded at that time, like younger. So I probably would have done it without thinking, because I'm like, well, the finances shouldn't matter. And if you love the person and you want to spend your life with them, you would just get married. So that's probably, but the realities of life, and as you said, opening the home and providing for a young family if you decide to start one straight away, like that all comes into play. And so this initiative is amazing because it allows families a little bit more flexibility.
Flexibility, yeah, especially with the rent.
Like this is rent. Like rent is like the biggest expense that we all have year on year. So I think it's amazing, and it's just one more initiative. I think probably every 6 to 8 months there's new initiatives in terms of family focused, particularly coming from Abu Dhabi and Emirati families. And I think it's amazing. I think it's so important, and to encourage Emirati families to
start a family, to find your love, and to commit at a young age, and to be, because it's a lot of finances. And I know, I think also in Abu Dhabi or maybe in other Emirates as well, they help them with the wedding preparations, like getting a ballroom, getting, the venue that you need, event planning. Some people might have them be able to rent gold, because you wear gold on your wedding day.
And there's group weddings.
Yes, group weddings and all. So I think all of this just makes it easier for people to get married, and to look at those people and tell them, you have no excuse now if you're pushing marriage, unless it's an emotional thing, unless you want to do something, you want to fulfill something in your life. But I think the whole point is just to make it easier for people, to encourage them to take that step of marriage, to start a life of commitment. And it's a good life, honestly. I don't think it's a bad option. I don't know why so many people are scared of marriage.
Are they?
Yeah. Yeah,
at
a lot of people
ages.
at certain ages. Yeah, I know a lot of people are scared of marriage. They think it's.
I think it's because I'm 10 years older and everyone around me is married that I'm like, are they? But yeah, you're right. When you're younger, people are nervous, because it is like the most important decision that you will ever make in your entire life.
Oh my God!
I can see why people are scared, because in the reality of that, it is the most important decision. Right?
You just reminded me of something. I saw this TikTok, and this girl was like, the only family that you get to choose is your husband, and still there are some people that are making terrible mistakes.
I mean, yeah, it's such a tricky one. But yeah.
Anyways, that was a funny TikTok. I laughed at it. Anyways.
Let's jump in to our next story of the day. A church in Dubai has a notice board for job seekers. So if you're living in Dubai, or if you know someone that wants to move here, you can check LinkedIn. You can check Facebook, but you can also head to a couple of churches actually in Dubai who have this initiative. And this is one such one, St. Mary's Catholic Church in Uden Meitha. They have a public job display notice board where companies are regularly posting vacancies. You can go there and simply check.
So people have praised it as a wonderful initiative, a simple yet powerful way of helping others when they need it the most.
And so going through the job hunt is a really, really difficult time. And as we said, there's many ways to hunt down a job, and you would probably traditionally think LinkedIn, but you can actually also head to a number of churches in Dubai. I was thinking about the job application process and the CVs that we write. And I was wondering, have you guys ever lied? Told something that wasn't completely true on your CV and landed the job?
You have a story. I'm sure you do.
I do have a story.
You have to tell me why.
I'm assuming that no.
I think it's just maybe like rephrasing it in a way, but like lying on CV now.
So, did I lie on the CV? I did a ski season when I was 18, and I had left college, university, dropped out, and the ski season was going to work in a chalet, and I would serve the food. The role was to serve the food, and then once a week you had to take the guests on a ski adventure, mission. So like take them on, like, you would just lead the group on like quite a long ski, because it was a big ski area. So that was it.
You did not say you know how to ski.
So I would have probably sent a CV and said, there was probably like a tick box if you skied before, and we had skied as a family a couple of times when I was younger. So I probably skied 4 to 5 times in my life.
Okay.
And in terms of the serving food, my mum had a restaurant when I was 9. And so I remember the phone call, and what had happened was I had applied for the job mid-season, and they had responded. Obviously, someone had pulled out of their role, so they needed someone in like a week. And I remember the phone call, it was like 2 days before they needed me out there, so they needed someone. And he was like, and are you comfortable with 5-star service? So like 5-star fine dining. And I was like, yes, my mum had a restaurant, so I'm absolutely comfortable with that. And he was like, and can you ski? And I was like, well, we've gone on family holidays for years, so yeah. And he was like, are you comfortable on black slopes? Now, black slopes are the highest, most difficult, most challenging slopes that there are.
Oh, God.
And I said, Yes, I am.
Are you? Were you? No.
This isn't like me. I promise I'm not like this. And so 2 days later, I was on a flight to France. And on the first week, they needed me to guide a ski mission. And there was 2 of us to do it. And it was the most treacherous ski conditions. It wasn't that. That's quite dramatic. It was pretty low visibility, so difficult skiing conditions. And the group I was with were excellent skiers. And I was falling behind. Yeah, and it was on the first week out, it was very clear that I could not ski.
Oh my God.
And so the other lady leading the group says, look, we're going to just leave you on the slope here today. Are you okay getting home and we'll continue? And I was like, yeah. So I was found out pretty quickly. But I learned. Now I'm an excellent skier and I can...
Did they fire you that day?
No, I don't think the manager ever found out. I think I just got better.
So you were able to guide people later on? Did you learn?
Yeah, of course, I got better. Because then you could ski most days and then you did that once a week. And on it was just really poor visibility and the ski group happened to be excellent. Like sometimes you go skiing with groups and they're happy to kind of enjoy the mountain and go for a coffee.
Yeah.
This group was like, this ski resort is 64 kilometers and we would like to complete the 64 kilometers and do all of the ski lifts in this day. And it was yeah, they wanted to do the whole thing. And it was my first day skiing, so it was just an absolute disaster that, my first day skiing with them, so it was a disaster that I was put up with them.
God.
Yeah.
Were you not scared to take on that role, you know? Like
I really wasn't. You know, when I wasn't thinking about it.
Someone said, take risks.
And someone said doing a ski season is a really fun thing. You go and you do this job, but then you're also going out enjoying yourself and skiing and eating all the food and you're living in a ski resort for 4 months. So I kind of took the job very naively, and it's actually a lot of work, but it was also a lot of fun. So I don't regret it.
Did you at least enjoy it?
I loved it. It was amazing.
For how many months?
4.
Ah, okay. Yeah. For a whole winter season, basically.
A winter season in a ski resort. I would recommend if anyone has the time.
You moved to France for 4 months to do the skiing. Oh, God. Yeah. I get why you would lie.
I don't think...
It's a white lie.
I told them I could do fine dining table service, which wasn't true. I would just say that I think I probably sent my CV with minor mentions of these things. And then when he asked me on the phone and I knew it was like, this is going to get you the job or it's not. And he didn't test me on it. He was like, can you do fine dining? Yes. Can you ski black slopes? Absolutely. And so, and then literally 2 days later, he needed me, I needed him. 2 days later, I was on a flight. And then I worked hard for 4 months. So although the first week wasn't great, the rest of the 4 weeks was...
They were good.
The 4 months was good.
It's okay. If you have some experience, I feel like you can always train yourself to... reach the highest limit, I guess.
Yeah, I wouldn't suggest it, but at the same time, no regrets.
You were younger, it's okay. It's part of the experience, actually. That's how you learn new skills, right?
Yeah, now I can ski. Thank you, Seamus, for that opportunity, if you ever watch this. Okay, so coming up on October 31st in Coca-Cola Arena, Mr. David Gray himself, the creator of White Ladder and so many other epic albums. If you're a fan of his, we think you'll really enjoy this interview. He went deep into some of his albums, the inspiration behind them, and the incredible process of creativity that goes on in his brain. Stay tuned. He'll be with us after this very short break. Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. Today's guest is the legend David Gray, the voice behind timeless songs like Babylon and this year's Love. With a career spanning 3 decades, his music has touched millions of people around the world, and he's bringing his music live to Dubai's Coca-Cola Arena on October 31st. But before that, we have him right here on the Lovin Dubai show. First of all, a huge welcome to you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So your music is coming to Dubai. How does it feel to come back and bring the past and present tour to the people of Dubai?
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, the past and present tour has been a phenomenal success. I think I expected when we did a White Ladder anniversary tour a few years ago, you're expecting that that's going to please the crowds in the way that it did. But this record is a slightly different sort of brew. So I've got songs from the new record, all the big hits. So each night there's different deep dives into different records from the past. So it's always evolving, always different, but it's been a massive hit. And so we're kind of keeping rolling. We go and do this Dubai show, then Australia, then we're actually coming back to the UK and Ireland again next year because there's still a demand for tickets. So it's been satisfying for me creatively and for the band, because it's sort of showcasing not just the obvious stuff, but stuff that people aren't as, don't get a chance to hear as much, maybe, as well as new music. So it's satisfying from a creative point of view, but also obviously the audiences have been loving it. So it's a kind of epic show. It's a 2 hours plus show each night to accommodate all these different things. You have to stretch out a bit. So it's great. The more places I can take it, the better. And this just makes perfect sense as we head off to Australia for what is the last leg of this year. We're getting to pop into Dubai and do this big show at the Coca-Cola Arena. So yeah, excited.
So exciting. And as you said yourself, the European leg was such a success. And, I think it was 28 shows, possibly 14 back to back. And I just wonder how you and the band feel personally about heading into that kind of like an intense run. Like, what's your own like personal feeling, 14 shows back to back?
Yeah, that was a bit, the whole of the first of the year, we went round America, which is always a challenge, trying to keep internal flights to a minimum. So staying on the bus, trying to be as sort of environmentally aware as we can be. And then straight back to the UK and pretty much straight into what was a sort of 30-date run almost. So it's down the rapid style touring. It's okay when you're sort of 27, but when you're sort of 57, it's a slightly different game. So we just have to keep an eye on energy levels, and people get pretty beat up. You lose your sleep, you lose your pattern of. It's a challenge, but what they've got is the gig to pull you through it each day. So I think that I can't say that it gets any easier. The travel is hard work, but being on the stage is just as special as it ever was. In fact, maybe more so, because there is a sense that you can't keep pushing it like this forever. And, I think it just sweetens it. A bit like the sunshine at the end of the year has this golden quality, just as you're slipping into winter. The last warmth of the sun and the golden autumnal colours, they have a certain vivacity. Well, that's what we're starting to tip into now. This kind of the flush of autumn is upon us in the band, and we're loving every second of it. But it's definitely tough on the body and tough on the mind.
Well, let's assume it's going to be an endless summer and you keep going for sure. Don't tell us autumn is coming. Could we go like right back for a second? Some people will say they knew they were destined to be musicians from when they were born. And I just wonder, was it the same for you? Did you always have that kind of feeling that you were destined for big things as a child?
Well, just to unpack that question, I definitely didn't know that I was going to be a musician. I leant towards art, poetry and things like that more, creative writing and painting, loved those things. I did a bit of piano lessons, but I think when pop music dropped for me when I was about 12, 13, when I went to secondary school, that's when the sort of that suddenly I was like, yes. And then I got the use of a guitar. It wasn't my guitar. I borrowed a guitar, learnt some chords, and then as soon as I could do that, I started writing songs. And that's when I started to dream of having a band, dream of writing songs, playing songs for people, and that became one of the central focuses of my life. And I had a sort of, a cockiness and audacity. I had a self-confidence that right when I had no right to think these things, I thought, I'm going to do this. And I've led a charmed life. So somebody or something seems to have been looking out for me. It's all kind of come true. So I reflect on that sometimes. I basically went from finishing my art course. I carried on with my band in Liverpool, and we got spotted pretty much straight away, made demos for Polydor and someone else, and found a manager and moved to London, and it all just started. So there was no real gap between the two things. I just went from one thing to another. So it was, you need an audacious attitude. You don't have to be a cocky pain in the arse, but I was probably a little bit like that. I think I grew up in a small place, And what you see in small places is lots of people who don't believe they'll ever go beyond the thing, and they have a sort of negative outlook. And I was just like, sod you, do you know what I mean? I'm going, and I'm going to make this work. Just because you don't believe, that doesn't mean, don't drag me into your negative spirals. So I think that's another thing that marks you out. But when you're young, you are kind of full of it, aren't you? You've got the kind of, you don't really know what life's going to do to you. So you're kind of just all full of vim and vigor.
Well, I don't want to call you cocky, but the words that you used were cockiness. And so I wonder, did the cockiness prevail through, I guess, before White Ladder blew up? There must have been some struggle there. And I just wonder, were you able to carry that sense of assuredness during those years, or were there kind of more difficult times?
Oh, it was a challenge. The cockiness was more like a teenage, thing. Like that was gone by the time I was doing this properly and trying to make a success of it. But I still think I have this innate self-belief, which was hugely challenged by I wasn't ready for what the music business is. I had no sort of plan of how I was going to style myself, present myself, play the media. I wasn't very knowing in those ways. I was a bit of an innocent. And my belief is I just do it, passionately do it, and something good will happen. And of course, that is eventually what happened. But the period that came before White Ladder, yes, it kicked me around. And I was thinking as we went to make White Ladder, if this doesn't work out, I don't know, maybe I'll have a major reassessment about whether I'm carrying on, whether I'm going to go back to painting, try something else, try a different angle, because it's not good for the soul to sort of the harrowing experience of putting yourself up there and just that being sort of clawed out from the insides by the sort of indifference and the coldness that you sometimes get. I mean, it wasn't easy. So there were challenges, and that certainly took me down a peg or two. But I think what the White Ladder is the sound of me bouncing back from the doubt and going, no, I'm going bigger, I'm going to give more kind of thing. I'm actually going to show you everything I've got. I'm not holding back one iota of what I am or what I want to do.
Wow. Indifference to creativity must be just heartbreaking. But White Ladder came and it blew up. I feel like it's like the album of 9 lives, because it keeps on gaining new audiences, and you've been TikTokified not too long ago.
Yeah.
And I just wonder, what was it like realizing that, Gen Alpha, I guess, or, loving White Ladder, and it's how many years later? How did you learn about that?
Well, my daughter was the person who picked up on the fact it was happening, and she picked up early. So there's a lot of people working on my behalf who are supposed to be keeping an eye on this stuff. But she was the one. Ivy picked up on it and said, Dad, they're showing your song some love. You need to do something.
Yeah.
I said, I don't know how, and I'm just going to make a fool of myself. So I left it, and then a bit more time went by, another week or so, and she said, this thing's getting bigger. You need to show them some love. They're showing you some love. So I said, well, you do it. I said, you do it. I don't know how to do it. So she filmed me doing a duet with Danielle, who had started the whole Babylon thing. And then I did an explanation video that I really didn't know what I was doing, because, I might as well try and speak Greek in terms of learn how TikTok or any of it works. So it was very innocent. That's what happened. And of course, it was an education watching how that blew up and how TikTok actually works. There's a certain point where it gets to a certain size, and if you want it to get bigger, you've got to pay for it. So it doesn't just happen. There's gatekeepers there, and it's like that was educational. So anyway, it did blow up, and it went kind of large, and lots of people got involved. And I guess that's just just seeing younger people connect with the music. When I'm at gigs, I'm always keeping an eye out if there were a younger crowd out there. Some nights it looks pretty old out there, you know what I mean? I'm thinking, Jesus, we better shake this up, otherwise there's not going to be anyone left. It's either on stage or off. But, but at other gigs, like we just played some shows in Ireland, and at some of those shows, there's quite a lot of younger people out there. And, in Edinburgh too, it's great to see. And there are obviously people who've picked up on whether it was the TikTok or whatever, I don't know. So yeah, the music finds a new audience is obviously essential. The manner in which it finds the new audience is something that's, a bit alien to me for sure.
You mentioned you're learning TikTok, and earlier in this chat you mentioned you learned to play the media, and I just wonder, was there like a specific moment in the last 10, 20 years? Like what did you mean by that phrase?
Well, I didn't say I'd learned to. I just said when I started, I didn't have a clue what I was getting into. I've never learned to play the media. I'm doing the same thing with you now as I've ever done, which is just say what I think. Mm-hmm. But I didn't have an angle. Like, I wasn't very... You had bands like Blur and Radiohead, very self-conscious, very presenting themselves. PJ Harvey. It was very thought out and very, self-conscious.
Image.
I wasn't like that. I wasn't knowing. I wasn't presenting or trying to mystify, make myself a mysterious character. I've just been kind of who I am on stage and off. So I haven't learned. I think all that's happened is I've had some success and I've done absolutely tons of this stuff now. So I'm kind of, I'm used to it. I know how it rolls, and I just try and make it work the best way I can. But it's not a situation dealing with all these facets of how you're perceived. It's not something you can control, really. It kind of has its own life. So it's sometimes that's distressing. You feel like you're being done down by the people who are presenting you a certain way, and other ways it's actually very refreshing. You get a kickback you weren't expecting, someone or something using your music in a really interesting way that seems to advance the whole cause. So that's the nature of just doing this thing over a long period of time. I mean, I do wonder how many questions there are for me to be asked that I haven't already answered. It's a very repetitive cycle.
I think journalists have the same problem leading into emails. It's the nature of the beast, though, and we're always glad for us to have the opportunity to speak to people like yourself, legends. Let's speak a little bit about Dear Life, which came out this year. What's one thing that you would like fans to know about this album?
Oh, I think that every now and again an album comes along that has a little bit more. And it's not that each time I'm writing a song or making a record, I'm not putting the same amount of effort in. But sometimes, whether it's grist to the mill, something's happened. Whether it's a broader thing in the world or to you personally or around you, that feeds into the music. It gives it a certain energy and vitality and depth that it's hard to put in there. It finds its way in suddenly. And I was graced with a lot of songs on this new record, Dear Life, that had that extra kick to them. And they arrived from nowhere and took my breath away at times. And I realized they were things that I've been waiting to write for a long time. So normally if I get one of those on an album, I think I'm doing okay. But there were several on this record that came out of the sky, songs that have been gestating for a long time. I mean, so I think it's got, if you like the way I write and work, it has an immediacy, a poppiness, an accessibility, but it's also got the depth. So I think it's one of the best records I've made. There is a completeness to it and a no stone unturned quality. I think we had time, because of the disruptions of COVID, we got an extra sort of leg of time to sort of finesse, develop, augment this particular project, and it so paid out. Sometimes I'm frustrated when things don't come out. There's a long process putting music into the world. You've got to do a record deal. You've got to make all the legalese, all the crap that comes with it. That's 6 months goes by, and it's like, then they go, it's Christmas now, so we're going to put it out next spring. It's like, that's a year from when I gave it to you. So I find that process frustrating. But this time round, even though all those things came to pass in this project, so there's a sort of lag to it, everything seemed to help. So I managed to change a few things in the downtime, or change a few mixes. So it's just got better. So I just think it's one of my best pieces of work. I'm in a rich vein of writing at the moment, very disinhibited, very free. And maybe as I get older, I'm becoming more courageous again, like I was as a younger writer, less afraid of what people think, just doing it and letting it all out, putting it all out there. This is a very different time now than when I made Dear Life. I was going to finish off the songs that were left over and put that out too, but I'm now adding new songs because this, as opposed to post-COVID, we're in like sort of pre-apocalyptic sort of era. I feel there's a different energy that needs to be accommodated and expressed in some way within the music. The frame of being and thinking and existing in this perishing world of awful realities that we find ourselves in now, I feel needs something else. So I'm adding more songs to what I already had ready. So I'm just completing another record. When I'm back from this leg of the tour, that's what I'll be doing for the next few months, finishing off another record, which will be almost like the second chapter of Dear Life too. So this is a rich vein of writing for me. Sometimes it isn't like that. It's a struggle to know where to go next, and you feel the trap of repeating yourself very distinctly is waiting for you, and kind of sick of the sound of your own voice, and you're feeling around for which direction you're going to take it. At the moment, I don't feel like that. It's just coming, and I don't question it, and I get it done.
So interesting. Would you be able to maybe go into detail on one of those songs? Like the fact that you said so many were all moments for you, just if you were able to just go into detail on one song and why it's so special to you and why you feel like it's a wow song.
Yeah, there was one in particular where the writing process can be uncanny, when something seems to just be dropping out of the sky. A song called That Day Must Surely Come. So it sits next to another song called Sunlight on Water. The whole pace of the album drops as you get to the middle, and these two songs happen next to each other, and they both have this total identity and authority about them. But That Day Must Surely Come, I was working on something else entirely, and I was in a rich vein of writing at this point. And as I was just messing with the guitar, I just did an extension on an A chord coming up the neck, and I'd never done it before. And then I changed the bass note. I thought, hang on, that's nice. And then I followed it with another chord, and I thought, there's something here. And then I just sang the first line of the song, and then the second line. And then I completed the first verse, and I thought, right, forget what I'm doing this. And then I wrote the little chorus that came after it, and then I wrote, suddenly within 20 minutes I'd written 3 verses, and it just became pouring out, and I had the sort of hair standing up on the back of my neck. It's a song about mortality, really. So but what was so moving was the depth from which the images came. You can't just go hard at ideas like that. You've got to find ways that you're letting them speak between the lines of. It's like hanging a mobile in a room, and the images have to work together to create an effect upon the listener. So suddenly each verse had its own very distinct personality that didn't seem hackneyed or cliched. It seemed fresh. And anyway, it took my breath away. I had sort of tears in my eyes writing it, because the sort of ownership, the concept of ownership or authorship seems a very tenuous one at moments like this. So it's as if you've committed to a process so completely that you've started a ball in motion where songs are now germinating within you, waiting 10, 15 years to emerge. Such is the commitment to what you're doing. So that's moving. It's your life playing out and coming down out of the creative tube and being, you're blowing it out of the saxophone. At the end, it's becoming music. It's like, wow, hang on, what's going on here? This is my life that I'm actually speaking. I can taste my experience writing this, but it exceeds what I'd be able to do if I sat down with a pen and paper now. I know how to phrase, I know how to rhyme, I know how to find cadence in words to keep things interesting. I'm alive to all those things. I'm a chair maker, I'm a craftsman, I will carve the wood and I will nail it together, glue it together, whatever. But sometimes something else happens, which is much beyond that. And so that was one of these moments when I was documenting something that I wouldn't be able to express so succinctly just using my craftsmanship. It was dredging from a place deep inside me. So that's one moment on the record where, you know, I as I say, the gratitude I feel and the emotion I feel, it's a process that's not only more subjective because you're feeling everything you're saying, but it's objective too. So you have this kind of you have this clear-mindedness, this editorial capacity. Oh no, that's over-egging the pudding. I don't need that verse. It doesn't need this change. Don't put that extra adjective in there. That just makes it sound overly syrupy or overly this or that. So you make good decisions, but you're being told what to do almost by the music. You're just a conduit for what's happening in so many ways. So yes, that's the best I can do today to summarize how that felt.
Wow, it's mind-blowing. I really appreciate that response. Looking back, would there be a song of yours that you consider to be maybe underrated in a way, but that was deeply meaningful to you?
Well, I don't know. I don't know how they're all rated. I mean, if ratings is the numbers on Spotify or Apple Music, then, you know, there's loads of songs which I feel should be higher up there. But that's just not how it works. How it works is that to drive the big numbers, it's got to be something that fits simply into like a feel-good capacity or a moody capacity or a relationship, kind of like This Year's Love is bigger than Babylon because it's obviously been put on Valentine's Day lists or, you know, whatever breakup list, you know, I don't know how, playlisted basically. So this is how your work gets curated. You get a few things that, whereas lots of other things, they don't really. So I made a record called Skellig, and, you know, that's one of the most satisfying creative projects I've ever been involved in. And again, because of the fullness of time, these songs were written over a very long period and then crystallized in such a way as there was no pretense that this was going to try and be a commercial record or compete in any way for airplay. There's sort of tempo-less drifting poeticisms, really. So there's some tracks on that record which they probably got negligible sort of streaming figures, but for me they're as good as, you know, as anything I've ever done. So things like that. But I mean, Jesus, there's too much to look. I mean, I don't look at all this stuff. I don't really know. It's often surprising when you look at that. But you know, I'm surviving. I'm doing better than that. I'm managing to keep something going, an energy and a conversation, a creative conversation with an audience over time. And I've been given the benefit of the doubt now that I'm worth listening to, at least this year. We'll see what happens next year. So I that's as far as I'll go.
Okay, and before you leave us, what advice would you give to a young David Gray before he embarked on the career? Or maybe to your kids as they turn 18? What advice would you give to an 18-year-old today who wants to embark on a career in music?
Yeah. I think you just it's really dumb stuff like you got to do what feels right to you. I mean, and set your goals clearly. Like if what you want is to make music that you feel is credible to you, that will be lasting to you, rather than satisfy the whims of a commercial environment, then that's what you need to do. And it's not going to be easy, and it's going to take a long time. If you're lucky, for you to be standing in a place where you've consolidated enough that it's a viable enterprise in terms of paying for tours and paying for records. So you need to be clear about what it is you want. If you want the arena tour, if you want to sort of Taylor Swift it or whatever, then that's a totally different thing. And you need to make your decisions based on, how you're going to optimize your appeal. But that's all that really matters. You've got to understand it's a tough business, and you're basically exposing your innermost feelings to people. And if you ever flinch from doing so, then you're in the wrong trade, because the only real tangible response to difficulty is to pledge more and to go further. That's how you protect yourself, by giving more. So that's the transaction, and you need to understand it.
Very well said. David Gray, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. Again, tickets on sale for the live concert at Coca-Cola Arena on October 31. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Bye-bye. That was David Gray on the Lovin Dubai show. What a legend. He is going to be coming to Coca-Cola Arena on October 31st. Do not miss it. It's going to be iconic. See you then.